mismo que comienza cuando nacemos, sino un talento que aprendemos de nuestro Creador. So let's try to make sense of this, right? Now, would you say this baby is alive? Hey, how do we know a baby is alive when it's born? It cries, right? So you come out of your mom and you cry, and that's a good sign, right? And it's breathing, and it's cute, and it's slimy, and it's all the good things, right? And you're like, it's alive. Good news, it's good, it's well. And oftentimes, this is it, right? If I ask you, hey, what does it mean to be alive? To begin with, you would say this is the beginning of life, at least outside of the womb. How do we know? You're breathing, you're crying, you're hungry, and little by little you start asking for more, right? Este bebé, podemos decir claramente que está vivo, ¿verdad? La primera manera de identificar cuando un bebé nace que está bien es que está vivo, que empieza a llorar, empieza a respirar, empieza a buscar a su mamá, empieza a tener hambre, todas las cosas, y poco a poco va creciendo y va aprendiendo pues más funciones de estar vivo. Oftentimes, though, we sort of tend to limit life to this, right? Oh, they're alive because they're going through major biological functions, and they eat, they sleep, they go to the bathroom, they get tired, they have energy, all of this sort of biological machine sort of deal. And it seems like we just sort of limit life to that. That's life, right? Y parece que en parte limitemos lo que es estar vivo a simplemente ser una máquina biológica, ¿no? Vas al baño, comes, te cansas, vives, respiras, amas, creces, envejeces, y parece que de alguna manera se limite lo que significa vivir a simplemente funciones de nuestro organismo, funciones de nuestro cuerpo. The question is that what the Bible says? Is that life? Is that all there is to life? Or is that even fundamentally what is life? So la pregunta que quiero que nos hagamos es, ¿está la Biblia de acuerdo con eso? ¿Es a eso lo que se limita el estar vivo? So I want us to look at this text, 1 John 3:14, 1 de Juan 3:14. The Apostle John here says the following: we know that we have passed out of death into life because we love the brothers. Whoever does not love abides in what? In death. And I included the text in Spanish here because I like the nuance that he gave, right? In Spanish it said, permanece, which means remains en la muerte, remains in death, right? So not only is like, oh, no, he's dead. It's just that he was dead and he's still dead. Even if he's breathing, even if he's alive, even if he's growing and hungry and doing all the biological things, somehow there is more to life than that, ¿verdad? Es interesante porque una persona puede estar muerta aun cuando respira, aun cuando se mueve, aun cuando hace todo lo que un cuerpo hace, right? So let's try to make sense of this a little bit more. Apparently, life, according to John, is to love. And then I did the pastoral thing, and I looked at what kind of love is John talking about, which in Greek is the verb agapao, right? Or agape, right? Which you know that. So to love our brother, more specifically, to love him just like Christ loves him, right? And loves you in another centered, you before me kind of way, ¿verdad? Entonces, según Juan aquí, el amar, el vivir es amar. Y la palabra amar aquí en 1 de Juan 3:14 es agapao, ¿verdad? Entonces, amar a nuestro hermano justo como Cristo lo ama a él o a ella, y Cristo nos ama a nosotros, de una manera sacrificada, desinteresada, altruista, ¿verdad? And just to have a bit of a definition, because, in English, you love pizza, you love your wife, and you love your church, right? So what love are we talking about here? So I found a biblical definition of agape, or the verb agapao. What kind of love is John talking about? To have a strong, non-sexual affection and love for a person and their good as understood by God's moral character, especially characterized by a willing forfeiter of rights or privileges in another person's behalf. ¿Verdad? En inglés amamos pizza, la familia y la iglesia, ¿verdad? Entonces pensé, vamos a intentar comprender un poquito mejor qué significa agapao. Y agapao significa tener un sentimiento de amor y de afección que es fuerte, que no es basado en sentimientos sexuales, por una persona y deseando, amando, buscando su bien, no según mí, o según mi propia opinión, sino según el carácter y la ley moral de Dios, especialmente caracterizado por estar dispuestos a sacrificarnos por el bien, el bien último, el bien según Dios de la persona que está delante de nosotros. So, again, we're talking, to make it simple, about a sacrificial love, right? An other-centered love that we're talking about here, ¿verdad? Estamos hablando de un amor sacrificado, un amor que se ha centrado en la otra persona. Now, what about death? Well, death isn't hating our brother. Biblically, the opposite of a God-given love isn't hate, but what? Self